When other Disney World guests are playing checkers, we're going to help you play chess to really get the best deals, best reservations, and best benefits. So let's play a game and figure out how you can outsmart your Disney World vacation next year by thinking 3 steps ahead of everybody else. Check and mate. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We are getting pumped for what 2024 has in store for the Disney World parks. But in order for us to enjoy the high-end resorts, the new restaurants, the returning shows, and other anticipated attractions, we got to make sure we got a game plan, put that in motion, and make this 2024 vacation cheaper, easier, and better than it's ever been. You ready to outsmart Disney World with us? Who am I kidding? You were born ready. First tip we got for you, My Disney experience has improved again. If you've ever traveled to Disney World with your family and friends, then you might have already taken a ride aboard the struggle bus when it comes to getting everyone in your group linked to the same account to make sure your dining reservations and lightning lanes and other trip details are all synced up. But now that process is going to be way easier for your future trips. When you want to add friends and family to your My Disney Experience account, which you can access through the My Family and Friends feature on the website, you can now search for someone by their name, phone number, and email address as long as they've chosen to make themselves searchable in the My Disney Experience system. Just click Allow when asked if you're totally cool with other family and friends having the option to find and add your account to their accounts too. There's even a Guests You May Know feature that has a list of folks who shared their family and friends list with someone that you know. This shortcut could save you a lot of time and cut down on those manual searches for each individual group member. Next, we're going to tell you to keep an eye on new restaurant openings, and we're going to keep an eye on them with you. 2024 is going to be a year filled with even more new Disney World dining experiences, and if you want to be one of the first to eat at them, then you're going to have to play the long-term game and keep your ear to the ground. One of the restaurants we're anticipating the most is the Cake Bake Shop. That's going to be opening up next spring over at Disney's Boardwalk Inn. This restaurant will feature sweet and savory menu items, afternoon tea service, a champagne bar, hello, we'll see you there, a grab-and-go bakery, and an all-around whimsical atmosphere, worthy of the Boardwalk's turn-of-the-century charm. We're looking forward to this restaurant so much, in fact, we've already tried a different version of it out in Indianapolis, just to get a sneak peek and taste of what we can expect from the Disney World version. If you want to check out our uber early reviews for the Cake Bake Shop, I'll link our Indianapolis review featured on the DFB website down in the description for you. But that's not the only Deluxe Resort restaurants you should be on the lookout for. Once the new Disney Vacation Club building at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort opens at the end of 2024, new restaurants should be appearing over here too. And considering how much we already love Polynesian Village Resort food, we are on pins and needles waiting to hear what's to come. Personally, I'm crossing my fingers for a revamped Spirit of Aloha show, since the OG version had to close for this DVC expansion to take place. Now, whatever table services end up popping up around Polynesian Village, they're bound to be just as popular, if not more popular, than the Cake Bake Shop will be. And we know reservations for the Cake Bake Shop are going to get snatched up fast. So here's what you're going to need to do to make sure you can secure your spot in one of these new dining establishments. 1, call me shameless, but you're going to want to keep tabs on the DFB team's latest news announcements. That way you can get a heads up for those exact opening restaurant dates just as soon as we find out about it, giving you plenty of time to plan your itinerary accordingly. So join that newsletter. 2, mark on your calendar what day will put you at 60 days before your first day of your vacation, because that's going to be the earliest you can start booking advanced dining reservations. If you're not planning on staying at a Disney-owned hotel during your trip, then you'll need to wake up early each morning, 60 days out of the marker, to secure more dining reservations for each day of your visit. But if you're staying at a Disney hotel, you'll only have to get up early once before your trip, since you'll be allowed to make your bookings 60 days in advance plus the length of your stay for 10 days. And 3, be on the Disney World website or MDE app earlier than when dining reservations are supposed to go live. The booking window opens for advanced dining reservations at 6 a.m. Eastern Time daily. That being said, it's not unheard of for these reservations to go live a little bit earlier, like 15 or 30 minutes depending on the day. So make sure you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, or at the very least coherent, by 5:30 to 5:45 a.m. Eastern, just in case these dining reservations get a little too eager for their own good. Now, even if you don't end up eating at the newest Disney World restaurants, there are still so many top-notch and established places for you to dine, from table service to quick service. In fact, if you scan the QR code on the screen right now or head to disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants, you can download our free list of the DFB team's top 10 favorite places to eat in all of the Disney World parks and Disney Springs shopping district. Who knows? You may just find your next new favorite, then we can bond over it. Next, you're going to want to book your hotels now before those dates book up. Please do this because I'm trying to book for January right now and there are no hotels available. So hurry. While Disney World hotel rooms are getting easier to book without having to reserve them 5 billion years in advance, 2024 is going to have a few key busy weekends that are going to sneak up on you and book up solid before you get the chance to reserve a room yourself, if you're not careful, like me. And those weekends fall during the Run Disney races. Since Run Disney races often sell out, hotel accommodations book up fast. Not to mention, the parks can get super crowded around this time too. The first Run Disney race coming up in 2024 is the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. That's January 3rd to the 7th. Keep in mind that this is right before Park Pass reservations will be going away for most guests starting January 9th, so you're still going to need to grab those Park Pass resis sooner rather than later to guarantee your spot in the parks if you go during this hectic time. The second Run Disney race, the Disney Princess Half Marathon weekend, takes place February 22nd through the 25th. Now remember, not everyone's going to choose to stay directly on property, so nearby Good Neighbor hotels may also fill up or shoot up in price very quickly. On April 18th to the 21st, you're going to have a double whammy to deal with. Not only is this when the Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend takes place, surprise, but this is also going to be the tail end of the spring break season, so crowds could be even thicker than anticipated. Just make sure you get to booking those hotels and advanced dining reservations as soon as possible. You can start booking advanced dining reservations once you're 60 days out from the beginning of your trip. Remember, we just talked about that. And finally, you've got the Run Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend from October 31st to November 3rd. Again, this also collides with Halloween crowds, so make sure you've got those Disney resort rooms booked up in advance. And also be sure to use those early theme park entry benefits that Disney gives their hotel guests each day to get that 30-minute head start on the rides before the regular crowds come in. Now, if you're wondering which hotels to book, we can help you with that. We've got best hotels and worst hotels videos for 2024 already. You can go check them out right now. Well, you can check them out after this video. Now, speaking of hotels, sometimes you want your hotel room to be a little bit bougie, but not so bougie that you're going to blow your entire budget just on a hotel stay. And I get that. So what if I told you you could upgrade to a moderate resort without having to spend any more than what you'd normally pay for a value resort? On average, a standard value resort room is going to range between $150 per night during non-peak season and $200 per night during peak season. Meanwhile, a moderate hotel is going to cost you $100 to $200 more per night, typically ranging between $300 and $450. That is, unless you time your vacation just right. Let me show you a few specific dates that we've tracked down for a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids in 2024, where the moderate hotels drop down to more of a value price point. See what I'm talking about? Playing chess. For a Disney World vacation that runs between January 8th to the 14th next year, you can get a room at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort for around $275 per night. Now, this isn't too shabby for a moderate stay, especially since you'll have access to the Skyliner Hub, multiple restaurants, and lovely beachside lounging spots. But keep in mind that a key reason the prices might be lower for this hotel around this time of year could be because the main Fuentes del Muro pool will be closed for renovations and won't open back up until March. That being said, there are still 5 leisure pools you can enjoy at Caribbean Beach, and it's going to be January. It'll probably be too cold to swim anyway, although they are heated all year long. Port Orleans French Quarter and Riverside around the same time frame are going to cost you about $270 per night. And these resorts will not only hook you up with fun southern theming and Creole-heavy restaurants, but you'll also be able to take their free riverboat transportation across Lake Buena Vista so you can have direct access to the Disney Springs shopping district during your stay, meaning more restaurants, more gift shops, more entertainment, all trip long. Again, Port Orleans French Quarter is going to have the same downfall as Caribbean Beach since its main Doubloon Lagoon pool will be closed for routine maintenance too, but you're more than welcome to walk over to Port Orleans Riverside and use their feature pool, Old Man Island, or any of their leisure pools as well. But what about if you're only able to make it to Disney World next summer? What then? Well, you can still find moderate resorts at value price points if you know where to look. Between July 8th to July 14th, Coronado Springs is going to cost you around $280 per night. This means you're going to be staying at a resort with lots of good food, impressive feature pools, hot tubs, which won't be closed for renovations, thank you, and several artsy-fartsy premium opportunities like creating Spanish mosaics and taking a master-led painting class or registering for Sangria University to learn how to make your own tasty cocktails, all in a beautiful location that celebrates Spanish, Mexican, and Southwest American culture. So here's the catch for this one. The cheaper hotel prices for Coronado Springs are going to be for those rooms featured in cabanas, casitas, and ranchos, not for the newer rooms in Gran Destino Tower. So if you'd rather splurge a little more for an even bougier experience, a standard Gran Destino room will still fall into that moderate price point range around $370 per night. However, if you care more about staying on the Coronado Springs grounds rather than the room itself, you can save almost $100 just by choosing the older room models. Now, note that these have all been upgraded too. They're all renovated. They're all beautiful inside. They're just a little bit farther away from the lobby and restaurants. Now, here's how to pay for your meals for less. Not to be dramatic, but this might be the most important Disney World tip you're going to hear all day. While there are loads of places you can eat inside Disney World, these places add up fast, which is why it's nice to be able to enjoy an easy meal back in your hotel room or have some pre-purchased snacks and sandwiches tucked away in your park bag when your group's starting to get hungry. However, if you're flying into Orlando, you're not always going to have the luxury of pre-packing all these snacky items in your luggage and carry-ons. And even if you're driving, you may not have the option of getting lots of hotel groceries until you arrive. And then once you do arrive, you got to deal with all the Orlando traffic just to run and do your own errands. It is a headache and it's a time waste. But here's a recent tip that we just found out about because it's a relatively new service. Kroger built a huge distribution center in Central Florida, meaning it can now deliver groceries throughout the Disney World area. But why choose Kroger's delivery services when there are other grocery delivery services? Well, Kroger's delivery has the same great prices you're going to find in the stores, including sales and coupons you can put towards your brands. Now, these items are delivered to your hotel in refrigerated trucks. You've probably seen them around property if you've been in Disney World. They're everywhere. And these will help keep your perishables cold and unspoiled. Now, here's the kicker. You don't have to worry about paying extra for tipping because the drivers are all Kroger employees and they won't take tips. And delivery fees are as low as $6.99, which is way cheaper than what you're going to have to pay to take a ride share to a nearby grocery store and back again, or even what you're going to spend on gas to get there yourself. Ready for the grand finale? Kroger is going to give you $15 off your first 3 orders. Yeah. So if you're interested, I'll make things way easy on you and put the Kroger delivery link down in the description so you can check it out on your own time. We've tried a lot of grocery delivery services in Disney World. This one is fantastic. Now, speaking of playing chess, this is a deep cut. You can watch a show we thought was gone for good. In a stunning turn of events, it looks like Disney Enchantment is about to be resurrected. During Disney World's 18-month-long 50th anniversary celebration, Magic Kingdom replaced the long-standing nighttime spectacular Happily Ever After with the new Disney Enchantment projection show on Cinderella Castle's Fireworks 2. But after the 50th anniversary festivities wrapped up, Disney Enchantment wrapped up along with it, and Happily Ever After resumed its position. But apparently that's not the end of Disney Enchantment's story. Not yet, anyways. Disney World has announced that when the After Hours events return to Magic Kingdom in 2024, on certain nights from January 11th through April 8th, Disney Enchantment will light up the parks once more for After Hours guests, and After Hours guests only, and anybody sitting on the Polynesian beach. But here's what makes this returning show really cool. After Hours runs from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. at Magic Kingdom, but you can still enter the park as early as 7 p.m. with your event ticket. Why does this matter? Well, if you arrive early enough, you'll actually be able to catch both Happily Ever After during regular park hours and Enchantment during After Hours all in one night. This is history in the making, people. 2 fireworks shows in one night for you and you alone and everybody else at After Hours. Prices range from $155 to $175 for Magic Kingdom After Hours events, and you can purchase them now on the Disney World website. Okay, we're going to go back to talking about advanced dining reservations again, but now I've got a special hack you can use to help you secure select popular restaurants even before that 60-day marker. Since most restaurants inside Disney Springs are not directly owned by Disney, but are owned by third-party companies, the Disney World website isn't the only place you can book dining reservations for these places. You can also book dining reservations for a lot of Disney Springs restaurants on OpenTable.com. So how early can you book those? Well, it depends on the restaurant. For example, you might be able to reserve your table for Wine Bar George in Disney Springs up to a year in advance. I don't think you'll need to worry about booking it that far in advance, but hey, it's an option. A ton more restaurants let you book between 60 days and 6 months out, with potential options like Paddlefish, The Boathouse, Edison, Morimoto Asia. And the best part about OpenTable, even if you're not finding reservation availability on the My Disney Experience website, that doesn't mean you won't find it on OpenTable. So always check both websites just to increase your chances of getting those reservations secured. Plus, OpenTable doesn't have a credit card guarantee or a no-show fee the way that Disney's reservations do. So, of course, you don't want to take advantage of that, but if you aren't able to make your reservation, you will not be charged for it. If you still find yourself struggling with planning your dining reservations and figuring out a good vacation food budget for your group, then be sure to check out our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining Plus Snacks Bundle. This is a multi-part digital companion. It's full of details to help you plan your snacking and your spending around the parks when it comes to food. You can even download them to your smartphone, and it'll be like we're right there with you all trip long. I promise we will try not to be too annoying. Just head to dfbstore.com. Be sure to type in code YouTube to save some extra money on your total purchase. And of course, we thank you for your support of the channel. All right, moving on to outsmarting Disney World even more. Here's how to stick around after Animal Kingdom closes. So Animal Kingdom is notorious for being the park that closes the earliest on most nights out of all 4 Disney World parks. But apparently it was feeling left out because this park is entering into the late night shift club. Extended evening hours are now available to Disney World guests staying at deluxe hotels on select nights at certain parks. Now, these special evenings give Deluxe Resort guests a couple extra hours in the parks at night, which is a solid way to experience a ton of attractions with little to no wait. Now, in the past, this benefit has only been available at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios, the cool parks. But now, extended evening hours is available at Animal Kingdom, too. You'll just need to check the park hours and events calendar online to make sure your visit aligns with those extra hours opportunities. And let me tell you, they are so cool in Animal Kingdom. It's so awesome to be there late at night. It's just beautiful. That park is beautiful all the time, but this is a special, special time to experience it. Pro tip, though, during extended evening hours, you're going to see QR codes around the park where you can download menus of restaurants that are open during these late night times. That way, you'll know exactly where you can grab a quick bite during your evening adventures so you don't keep running into closed snack booth after closed snack booth, because a lot of stuff is going to be closed when it comes to dining. But Animal Kingdom's not done with nighttime shenanigans yet. Next year, they're also going to have select nights where you can purchase after hours tickets, which will run between 8:30 and 11:30 p.m. But you will be able to enter the park starting at 7 p.m. with just an event ticket alone if you want even more time here before the event officially kicks off. The capacity for this after hours event is limited, so you'll have little to no crowds to worry about and super short wait times for select attractions. And to sweeten the deal further, ice cream novelties, popcorn, and select drinks are included with that separate ticket price too. So eat all the popcorn you can. We don't have specific dates for this after hours event just yet, but we will make sure to update you once we do. Now, earlier we talked about how you can get a moderate hotel for a value price point. Now we're going to talk about how you can get a deluxe hotel for the same kind of price point. Staying at a Disney World deluxe hotel can be a bucket list dream, but these swanky stays also come with a rather infamous price tag. Standard room at contemporary resorts starts at $500, $600 at Polynesian, $700 at Grand Floridian. Yeah, that's a starting price, friends, per night. Of course, since these are all deluxe resorts, you'll get some deluxe benefits in return, including nearby stellar restaurants, direct access to Magic Kingdom and Epcot via the monorail and walking trails for Magic Kingdom only, and those all too coveted extended evening hours like we talked about with Animal Kingdom just a second ago. And yet, that's still $700 plus Disney's asking for one room for one night. That is bonkers. Now, if you want those deluxe offerings for hundreds of dollars less, all while still being within walking distance of a Disney World park, Disney World Swan and Dolphin resorts are the win-win situation. While they may not technically be owned and operated by Disney, the Swan and Dolphin hotels are run by Marriott, you can still get lots of the same perks that the Disney Deluxe Resort guests get. You know how we're getting all excited earlier about the moderate resort price points at the Disney-owned hotels? This is where Swan and Dolphin steps in and says, hold my drink. A night at the Swan or the Dolphin is going to run you on average $240, $250, $260. You're not going to get the immersive Disney theming here, but these hotels are still real bougie on the inside and out. Plus, you can literally walk to Epcot and Hollywood Studios from either of these hotels. Or you can take any of the free transportation to the parks. You can also walk to the Skyliner. Be warned, the Swan and Dolphin's buses can be slower than Disney's, which can be a major point against them. However, they gain that point back by offering Disney benefits that are usually reserved for deluxe Disney-owned resort guests only. Those extended evening hours. Now that is truly beating the system. You are not going to pay this price point and get extended evening hours anywhere else. Let's not forget, Swan and Dolphin also have some great places to eat that are often overlooked by Disney guests. These are some of the restaurants that I go to with my family when I'm in Disney World. There's the brand new Rosa Mexicano with an elevated fiesta dining experience. There's the Fountain. It's a cozy diner with affordable comfort food. Shula's Steakhouse is an incredible old school steakhouse. Incredible side dishes here too, just absolutely giant side dishes. Il Molino New York Trattoria. This is a restaurant my husband has to go to every single time he's in Disney World. This is an Italian restaurant. Even the grab and go location, Fuel, is noteworthy since it's the only place you're going to get self-serve Dole Whip or Dr. Pepper on Disney property. Because you're not going to find Dr. Pepper for sale at any of the Disney-owned restaurants and or gift shops. Basically, we're big Swan and Dolphin fans over here, and while transportation to Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom can be a pain if you're relying on Swan and Dolphin's complimentary buses, the price point and benefits make up for it. Next big tip, consider getting just one annual pass. Okay, hold on, stick with me. I know it's expensive, but it may make sense. If you can't or you don't want to shell out those huge bucks, like thousands of dollars to get annual passes for your entire family, have you ever considered just buying one? Nope, I'm not talking about doing solo trips all year round and saying bon voyage to the rest of your family, although if that's your speed, I am 100% pro solo trips. That's what I take most of the time. That's beside the point. There are plenty of benefits you can score in the parks with just one annual pass holder in your group. First, there's AP discounts, which you can use for everyone in your group if and only if you're all paying together on the pass holder's check. For example, the annual pass hotel room discounts that Disney runs from time to time can be applied to your whole group's stay, and even multiple rooms, but the pass holder will need to be the lead guest on the reservation. The same goes for the 10% off discounts at most table service restaurants in Disney World or the 20% discount on merchandise in gift shops. The pass holder just needs to be the one to foot the bill, so plan a way to pay back this VIP in your group through either Venmo, Cash App, or hand him cash ahead of time, or if it's dad, just don't pay him back because he doesn't expect you to anyway. Annual pass holders also typically get discounts on special events and tours and can purchase multiple tickets at the time of booking. So for instance, if you're a pass holder and book the Keys to the Kingdom tour in Magic Kingdom for a group, even if you're the only pass holder, you'll still get that 15% off discounted rate for the tour for everybody. The same goes with tickets to things like After Hours, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You can purchase multiple discounted tickets through one AP. The other thing you could save big bucks on, or at least moderate bucks, is parking. If you're driving to Disney World and staying off property, then you're going to have to shell out $30 per day to park at the theme parks, but annual pass holders get complimentary parking with all pass levels. Sounds awesome, right? Now here's the downside. This hack tends to work best for Floridian residents since they'll have their choice of annual pass holder tiers, meaning they can choose to pay less but receive more park blockout dates, or they can choose to pay more for fewer blockout dates. However, out-of-state guests, we can only choose the highest price tier option right now, the IncrediPass, which costs $1,399. If you still visit the parks often enough that this cost and the discounts attached to it could be worth the investment in the end, then go for it. So for example, if you're going to have your one pass holder go on multiple trips with you, even if you only go on one trip a year, if you do that trip at like the beginning of July the first year and the end of June the next year, you can use those pass holder benefits for both of those trips, and it could work out being all right if you're saving enough on your hotels and your food and your merchandise, etc. But you're definitely going to want to crunch those numbers before deciding one way or the other. We've been given this tip for a long time, and of course, as the passes get more and more and more expensive, it becomes less and less valuable, but you can still get savings this way. It just depends on where you're staying, how long you're staying, if you're eating on property most of the time, etc. So crunch the numbers. Okay, next we've got more hotel savings. You can get a DVC villa for a lot less. One more cost-efficient hack up my sleeve. This is going to be the biggest savings of them all. And all you got to do is rent a hotel room instead of buy it. David's Vacation Club Rentals is a reliable third-party site that helps connect Disney Vacation Club members, those folks who are part of Disney's timeshare program, and non-Disney Vacation Club members in a way that benefits everybody. Non-DVC members can rent vacation points from DVC members when said members aren't planning on using their points before they expire and don't want them to go to waste. If you decide to rent DVC points, you're essentially staying as a guest of a Disney Vacation Club member. In fact, depending on the date and resort you choose, you may be able to rent points and get a room for 30 to 50% less than it would cost you to book that exact room through Disney. As an example, in September 2024, a week in a one-bedroom villa at Copper Creek, adjacent to Wilderness Lodge, is going to run you 185 Disney Vacation Club points, or around $3,700. But if you were booking the same villa straight through the Disney World website, it's going to cost you $5,290. That's literally thousands of dollars of savings right there. Keep in mind that there are a few downsides to renting from a third-party service, including stricter cancellation policies. But if you want to learn more about how David's DVC rentals work, then check out our video that goes in depth with this hotel hack. You can find out if the pros outweigh the cons for you. All right, can you feel that? It is your brain getting 10 times more wrinkly thanks to all that new Disney World knowledge, and now it's time to put it to use. Remember to keep checking back here with us for more 2024 Disney news and updates. Our ultimate guides are all coming out. Don't forget to head to disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants right now if you want access to our exclusive list of 10 favorite restaurants around the parks in Disney Springs Shopping District 2. And we've just got tons of great videos coming out for you if you're planning a Disney World trip here in 2024. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this video and if you want to see more. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.